Welcome back to Nina Does the Most. Today we are just ripping it off the cusp. So before we begin, let me give you guys just like the laundry list of topics we'll be going over today. Heidi and Spencer, mindset shift. Somebody asked me in my TikTok live today, how do you shift your mindset? We're gonna talk about that. Again, something nobody talks about. I feel like I'm always giving what nobody else is giving. So this is your moment. You never know. I could turn your question into a spicy advice video if you leave one down in the comments. But before you do that, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It helps me reach more people and it motivates me to make more videos. You did it? Okay, great. Let's go. So first we're gonna hop into Heidi and Spencer. Who knew that Spencer Pratt was going to single-handedly reinforce that there are gender roles and that a man should be a provider, especially in times of distress? Who knew Spencer would be the one? I really feel like he is the blueprint and setting the example for all the men to come. He hasn't slept in a week. In just 5 days, he has gotten him and Heidi Good Morning America, #1 on iTunes in like 12 countries. He's done so much. It's incredible. He has gained 3 million followers between he and Heidi's social media. They didn't have that before. And here's my thoughts. I'm forever team Heidi and Spencer because I love them. I loved Heidi back when she did all of her surgeries because I thought it was just so pin your ears back. That was the first time I ever seen anybody pin their ears back, and I was like, wow, that actually changed the look of her face drastically. Her doctor did a great job. But I also feel really bad for them because why is it that people don't get their moment until the worst possible scenario happens, until they're at rock bottom? If their house never burned down, would we be talking about them? No, we know we wouldn't. Spencer would still have like his smaller audience of bird watchers and people who like crystals, and it would just kind of be a one-off thing that we see on TikTok. But now, everywhere we go, they are taking over the internet, the media. To have to lose your house in order for your work from 15 years ago to finally be acknowledged is kind of messed up, don't you think? I've been streaming her music like crazy, and I just like music that sounds really sexy. But I'll tell you this though, this is the exact meaning of I just needed the platform because they were ready. You know, in the words of Oprah, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. They were prepared. But now I don't want to date anybody unless he's like Spencer, unless he puts in his bio dating the #1 marketing strategist in the world. I want a man who's like that. And honestly, what I got to do to attract a man like that? Moving on, next subject. The very first step to changing your mindset for anything is to realize that everything is temporary. Going back to the example of busting my toe in Bali. So then now that you realize everything's temporary and all we got is right now, then you go, okay, well, let's tap into my higher self. So picking a red pill or a blue pill in the fork in the road has actually brought you to this very moment right now. Everything you've ever been through brought you to this very moment. What does your higher self, and that's another thing. Everything's really all happening at once. So the past, present, future is all just multi-layered all at once right now. We can go into a whole nother sermon about that later. If we know past, present, future happening all at the same time simultaneously, then we know that there is potential or there is a parallel where the highest version of you actually exists. Somewhere out there, I'm living my best life in a private jet with a Chanel outfit on, running a mafia with $1 billion in my offshore account. I'm gearing up for my presidential election in 2040. If I know that that's future me, that's ideal me, that's highest version of me, then how would she act? How would she wake up in the morning? What does she eat? What does she dress like? What's her daily routine look like? How does she view present Nina? She views present, she's actually on the sidelines cheering her on like, yep, and your makeup looks good today too. Don't you let those white girls make all that money. Okay, that's a reference from when I was a dancer and I worked at this club in Gemini. Shout out to baby Gemini. I remember one day I was so sad at the club. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go home. She was like, don't you let all these white girls make this money, girl. And I was like, oh, she will never know that is engraved in my mind. It echoes in my brain. It lives rent free. And it's not necessarily always white girls. It's the point is don't you let other people take what is yours. So now I'm looking at myself like that, cheering from the sidelines. There was somebody in my TikTok live earlier that was like, well, I'm obese, but my higher self is fit. And I said, well, what does your higher self think of your obese self right now? Probably poor you. Not bullying you, not talking down to you, but really truly pities you. So now how can we move out of to where your higher self is no longer pitying you, but is proud of you? Evolve into this newer version of yourself by incorporating practices one by one. That's how you change your mindset. It's the same way that you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And I hope nobody is out there eating elephants. If you haven't seen my productivity tips for 2025 and you're wondering how can I step into the higher version of myself, you need to go ahead and watch the video. I will link it in a card right here, right now. Before we move on to our final topic, if you've made it to this point in the video, let me know, what does the higher version of you think about the present version of you right now? This was my original topic that I wanted to hit today, which is probably good that I left it for the last. But with the TikTok ban and everything happening in the world, it made me think. Everybody is rushing over to this new app called Red Note. And it's really weird because I feel like people are just rushing to become consumers. People are not even assessing, why is it that I'm gonna miss TikTok and why am I running over to Red Note? I know why. Because people subconsciously realize TikTok is their source of dopamine. And so they're feeling like, oh my God, without TikTok, I may not have a source of dopamine. You could just experience and find a new community in real life. But people are not doing this because most people are lazy thinkers and they're just lazy in general. Please do not feel triggered and don't come for me in the comments if you've already signed up. I have signed up as well, but I've not committed myself to trying to grow on that app for several reasons. Because I'm trying to grow here where I can get paid, but it requires a little more work than the average creator is willing to put in. And that's another thing subconsciously that people know. They know, okay, this is gonna take more work. If I do YouTube, I'm gonna have to learn stuff. I'm gonna have to invest in equipment. I don't wanna have to do that. I wanna do the same thing I was doing on TikTok. I wanna just doom scroll, get my dopamine hit, and every now and again, share my unwarranted opinions on things. That's what people are looking for. This type of thinking is not going to change the world, actually. I was thinking the other day, because what will people do without TikTok Shop? There's so many businesses that thrive on this TikTok Shop. And there's other alternatives. You could put your things on Amazon. You can put them on Meta Shopping. You could even put them here on YouTube. As humans, we will never progress if we keep avoiding two things. First is formation of real life communities. People need to start putting possession behind their community. No. These are my friends. These are my family. This is my block. And so when you start thinking and saying these things, now you have a vested interest in it. And you think it is personally your responsibility to look after it. I am my brother's keeper. I am my block's keeper. People in general, especially in first world countries where individualism is valued, need to start reverting to that. Community, real life. This is yours. Look after it. If not you, then who? The second thing, in order to advance, that is going to be very difficult for a lot of humans, and this is one of the things holding us back, is that everyone's always talking about eat the rich, eat the rich. Elon Musk could fix world hunger, so could Jeff Bezos. And they're so da-da-da-da. But nonetheless, you buy Amazon every single day. So do I. We all do. Because it's convenient. But when I lived in Bali, we didn't have Amazon. We had Tokopedia and Shopee, and that was not so convenient because it's going to take over a week. There's no returns, and they might not get your address right because the addresses are like kind of shit there sometimes. So It may not be accurate. And so while some cultures are used to the regular hustle and bustle of buying things and consumerism, other cultures like ours are not used to that. We rely on convenience. We'll pay an arm and a leg for convenience. Matter of fact, we want convenience so bad, we will inconvenience ourselves. So if we want to move forward as humanity, we have to be okay with inconvenience. We're never going to eat the rich when we're relying on them for convenience, and they know that. I could click 3 buttons and it'd be at my house tonight by 10 p.m. So what is the cost and the benefit of really eating the rich? What does that really mean? Okay, because it doesn't mean being upset on Twitter, which Elon Musk owns, which really means you're supporting Elon Musk. You talking about eat the rich. No, the cost of eating the rich in real life is convenience. And it might be individualism, but the benefit, if that's what y'all really want to do, because honestly, I'm really just vibing on this planet. I'm trying to keep it together. My plate is full. I can't eat the rich right now. I might have to wait till 2026 to eat the rich because my plate is way too full for that. But the benefit is one that is beneficial for everybody, because if we forfeit convenience and individualism, now we have community. Now we are actually supporting smaller businesses. Maybe it's not coming to your door with free returns by 10 p.m. tonight, but you actually just helped your next door neighbor pay their rent by supporting them. Now they're gonna have your back. These businesses have no loyalty to you because they don't know who you are. You're a number. But when you are dealing human to human, small business to small business, neighbor to neighbor, community to community, people know who you are. They remember the interaction and they feel indebted to you. Oh, maybe I'll throw this in for free next time. Or you know what, because you supported me, let me support you. This is how humans are. We are socialized creatures, and this is literally ingrained in us to want to help each other for the progression of humanity. But if humans could just understand a few of these fundamentals, we would be so much further in life. The natural order of things would be way more balanced. You guys let me know in the comments. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, or do you have completely different opinions? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. I'm about to go check on my tenants and deliver new garage batteries for them.